Hey there, Not Done Yet Adventurers. This is Wayne from the Not Done Yet Adventures gang. Getting ready to put in a USB charging rocker switch for my GoPro. Gonna wire this thing hot because figured out in Newfoundland, every time I shut my machine off, it would shut my camera off, which kind of screwed me up because I was recording in a loop mode. So every time I shut it off, it stopped the loop. Made it a lot harder to edit videos, which is part of the problem right now. So hang with me here and I'll get ready to get started. Thanks. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take the hood off here, take the windshield off so we can get to things a little easier. Windshield, I think as you've seen in my other videos, just quick pop on and off. In order to get the hood open, pretty easy itself also. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these off. I'm not going to bore you with the details on that, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, now we have the windshield and the hood off. Here's what I had purchased to do this install. We have the USB charging rocker switch. Bought some loops to put around my battery. Bought some butt end connectors because I'm going to have to connect these back up once I cut these little bitty loops off. Bought some red wire and some black wire. We're going to need a 10mm socket to take the firewall off. You can see here, there's going to be, I believe, 9 bolts in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9 bolts in there to take that off. And then there will be a bolt that we have to take off down in here. And I will film all that as we go. So I'll talk to you here in a second. So as I said, need a 10mm wrench. Got me a little dish here to put all my little bolts, nuts and bolts in so I don't lose them. And get some of this stuff here out of the way while we're working. Set it on the seat. So as I was saying, there are 9 bolts here on the outside. We're going to go ahead and start taking those apart. Get the firewall off. All this up real quick. Okay, now to the inside. So we open this little contraption right here. This is where your Magellan would go if you had one. I do not. This should be the last bolt we have to take out here. Now that this bolt is out, we should be able to pop out the firewall. So now, ease this firewall out here. We gotta pop these little clips off. Give me just a second. We need to grab a little screwdriver so don't break them. Just don't want a chance breaking these little clips off here. Try a little bigger screwdriver. Go. One on the other side. Here we go. Now as you're pulling this apart, you want to be careful. There's some vacuum hoses and such in here. I've also got a few wires I've ran through that I want to be careful of. Another hose over here. Okay. Now you'll see here, these are all the extra leads that they provide. Some of them are extra leads, some of them are not. Where I've connected some other accessories that I want to be switched off of the ignition. We're going to be running our wires right down in there, which you can't see anything, to come out of one of these ports here, realistically this one. And then that way we can charge our camera while the machine's off. Okay, so I've decided I'm probably going to run the wire down this way. It's going to be closer to where I want it to be. What I usually do is I have this little piece of tubing. It's a little stiffer than the wire that I can feed through first, take the wire to it, and pull it through. So I'm going to go inside here and feed this little tube. A little bit of trial and error. Find the tube down in there. Where is she? Doing this by yourself sometimes becomes a little tricky. There we go. But it's probably not exactly where I want it. Not where I wanted it. See here. Oh, I don't see her down in there. Yes, I do. Right here. Perfect. So now, as I have that, I can take some electrical tape here. I'll move this camera. some electro tape. Tape these 2 wires to it. Feed this through. I'm not going to stick that in there quite yet, at least not all the way in there. Try to make sure everything's where I need it. So what I've done here is I have drilled a 1/2 inch hole, you can see it right there, through the firewall so that I can attach this toggle switch. That's going to be my on-off so that it's not always hot once I shut the machine off for a period of time. So I am going to feed this thing in here. Clean off its burr a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to feed this switch right in here. Take a guess at which one's going to be on and which one's going to be off. Hopefully it's up. Might have to change this later. Put the one screw on. Here. Probably a bigger wrench here. Just make sure. Oh, now nice and tight. There we go. Okay, and then as I put my tape in there, I put a little fold in it so I can untape it easy enough. Here we go. Now I need to get some wire strippers. switch. Okay. Now I need to come off that bottom one with the excess red wire I bought. Strip that back. This might get a little tricky because I have some wires running in there. So plenty of wire here. All right, so now we're gonna put the ring on. there. Make sure she's gonna stay on there nice and tight. Looks good. Put that to the battery. Need my, so come over here like so. And get my black wire. Snip the end of that off. Strip her back. Black wire. Realized that I thought the wires coming out of that USB port were 12 gauge, they're only 14 gauge, so not going to be able to use the butt end connectors that I bought, so we're going to improvise, at least for now. So I'm going to take the one end I cut, I'm going to connect it to this end, twist them babies together, put a little wire nut on her. And then make some electrical tape. Taper down just for safekeeping. I will probably fix this later when I get the right butt end connectors. But for now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to tuck her in. Bring this back out, like so. And then strip this. Put another loop on there so we can hook that to the negative side of the battery. There we go. Now I hook that to the battery. Okay, so now we've got everything installed. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this switch here. As you can see, we're showing voltage showing up on the switch. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Pull my phone out. Try to plug it in one-handed. And as you can see, my phone is charging. So now, just time to put all this back together. Feed the hoses back in. Put those back inside where they're supposed to go. Same thing on this side. Tuck this one in. Wires right. Snap the two clips in place. And then run all the screws back in. We should be good to go. Should we get more things back? One last screw. And the last thing we need to do pop that in like so. And again, we'll reach out here. There we go. Alrighty, and that should be it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the windshield and the hood back on, and we're done. Thanks for watching.
Jerry, Wayne, and Greg was a threesome. You get a better deal.
What kind of cruise is this?